Welcome to the Carter Collection Obsession. I'm Michelle.
And I'm John, and we're here to share our Magic the Gathering collection obsession.
And we haven't made a video for a while, so we picked something that we've been wanting to do, is our decks. So, I got some decks. I do gimmick decks. This is one of the decks I built. I used those two-sided cards. It never wins, but it was fun. I just picked out a whole bunch of those in just random order because we have tons of cards around here. So that's one of my gimmick decks.
It's a fun deck.
It's fun. It's
challenging.
Different. Yeah, I don't win. With most of my gimmick decks, I do not win, but we have fun with it. And we thought you'd like to see some decks we play with. And we play Kitchen Top. We play, you can have 4 of anything. We have no restrictions. If you have the cards, you can play them. That's the way my family's always played. We do have Commander decks built, but we don't play too much Commander because just John and I play together most of the time. This is a deck I built, Infect deck. Back in the day, Infect was a big thing, and then it finally came back again, so I tried to do that again. Everybody else's creatures are more powerful than mine, so they win a lot quicker. This is my favorite one, but it's the dumbest one, and my son says I don't build good decks because I don't pick Synergy, which I don't watch the Synergy. I do more fun stuff, just weird, that nobody else does, and this is a complete land deck. Lands that can turn into creature, but it is 100% lands. I have won once out of maybe 50 games I've played with this one.
You beat my good deck with that one at one time.
Yeah,
so,
but it's fun. But there's a lot of lands that turn into creatures or give you creatures. So I thought, well, let's build a deck out of that. So that's another one of my gimmick decks. That's my favorite gimmick deck. That's what my son calls them, gimmick decks. I have a death deck. It was based around anything dealing with death. Funeral March, Gravedigger. So it was, yeah, corpses. Anything to do with death. I just wanted a black deck.
Yep.
And I picked that. But, again, not very good. I love bugs. I love bugs. I love bugs of any kind. So I made myself an insect deck. It's all insects. It's black and green. I love bugs. Everybody says I'm weird.
That's what it's about, just making fun decks that you enjoy playing.
Yeah, and I do. Those are my gimmick decks.
This is my Pegasus deck, which it has a lot of lifelink and
flying, which I don't play flying, so that one gets me.
It has a lot of trickery into it too, so it keeps you on your toes. I like playing the trickery decks, that way people have to respond to it and make you afraid of you.
Yeah. I do have one flying deck. It's bats, but there are not a lot of powerful bats. 2 1s, 2 2s, about the biggest creature in here. I can get out quick, but
they work well with each other.
Yeah, they do have some synergy. Matthew does like those ones.
And I have my bird deck. I love the squirrel and toad.
And that's how I know it's the bird deck.
And the sleeves go with it.
Yeah.
But it's a fun deck too, and it's a smaller deck as far as smaller creatures, and there's a lot of
oh, he plays these walls against. I hate the walls.
But something like that, it just.
Yeah, John can build decks, and that's funny because I've been in this since the beginning, pretty much. I met John 4 years ago and taught him about Magic, and he can build a better deck than me, hands down, because he knows to do synergy. I do gimmicks.
Okay.
This was my first deck, but it's been reworked so much it doesn't have any of the original cards. This is a mill deck. My brother and I used to always play mill decks. He's still got a mill deck, too. Mine was all... Back in the day, we didn't have a lot of things that milled, besides millstone, and then they came along, and a lot of them were blue, and my brother kept telling me I had to do blue, and I'm like, I don't want blue in my mill deck. Well, you see, I finally listened to him, because pretty much they're all blue. The best mill are blue.
Yeah.
So I listened to him finally.
What's the card that you put in there that your brother told you it had to have?
Traumatize.
Traumatize.
And I just found... We just bought a collection that has another one because puts half of their library rounded down in their graveyard It can go quick.
Yes, it can.
Yeah.
They picked on me one day and billed me out.
Yeah, my brother and I, we both played our mill decks. And he was out pretty quick. That was fun.
Let's see. This is one of my favorite decks. This is my dragon deck. And the sleeves go with it. And every deck should have a soul ring in it.
That is from our wedding. I made him that soul ring.
And a lot of the low cost ones are just direct damage. And then once I get going, I have a lot of powerful dragons, Terror of the Peaks, and I got a couple of gold span dragons. That way you get your mana. And
what's the stupid one that gives all the dragons?
oh, Crucible of Fire, 3+3. But this one's even better. This one gives triple damage. And then a lot of different dragons in there. But it takes a while to get that deck going.
Yeah. I have words for that deck.
It's a fun deck, though.
Not for me.
And then I do those are my tokens, and they're in different sleeves for the treasure tokens and
for the same deck.
Right.
Yeah. And then I have a deck that he hates. I call it the Darn You deck. He has another name for it, but it's board wipe.
Yeah, that's frustration right there. Just...
yeah, if it gets going the right way, there are words at the table.
Yeah.
We have always agreed that we are not friends at the table. When we get up, we are. Not at the table.
Yeah. And let's see. I made me a devil deck. We was sorting cards one day, and I came across a bunch of devils, and so I pulled them all, and I made a deck out of them, and it does all right. It's a decent deck.
Yeah.
There's some direct damage in there, and
it frustrates me.
it gets out pretty fast, but it's a lot of smaller creatures. They work good together, though.
Yeah,
so that does have some synergy to it.
That's a lot of my problem is I make decks with little creatures and then can't. Once he gets going with these big monstrous creatures, I'm out of luck. Here's two more of my. What do I call them? What's Matthew call them? Gimmick decks. This was a Shirio deck. My brother talked about this. Everything in here is 0 casting cost. No, it never wins, but it sure is fun because I don't need anything to get anything on the board.
You can get out fast.
But they're 0/1 creatures. So it needs some work. All my decks need some work. That is actually one of my New Year's resolutions.
Well, you can always do better on the decks.
Yeah.
We always look at cards and pull cards for our decks.
Yeah. This isn't my other gimmick deck, but I found John has some cards in his deck that I want that'll help this. This is a thief deck. It just gains control of their creatures, but I couldn't find enough that it's always gain control till end of turn. I need them for the entire game.
Yes, you do.
Because I can't do much with them if I only have them once. But we call that my thief deck because I steal everybody's creatures. I want to steal them for good, though.
Yeah. We sort a lot of cards, and I've made my shrine deck. And,
oh, Lord. I've never heard of anybody making a shrine deck.
So I got 4 of each shrine that I could find, and there ain't a lot of shrines out there. M21 put out quite a few this past year or whatever, but they work well together with each other.
Yeah.
Once it gets going, it's very hard to stop. Because
shrines. Yeah, and they all have a thing. This one gives you spirits at your upkeep.
Depending on how many shrines you control.
This one, you can pay 1 and destroy target creature. All of the shrines have an awesome ability. You get mana for that one. But I'm glad they're legendary, so he can't get more than 1 out. We do play by that rule.
Yes.
But as far as deck building, we don't really play by too many rules. I feel if you have the cards, you want to play them, play them. We play by rules when we go with other people, though. But here at home, I built a spirit deck. I've been working on this one, and I've gone back and forth working on this one. I think it's working better. They're flying creatures. They're cheap to get out. I can get going. I got balance in about every white deck I have. Once I discovered that, I love that card.
And the spirit deck has some synergy to it because it taps a lot of creatures.
Yeah.
And when stuff comes out, and it's tough once it gets going too.
Yeah, I do like my spirit deck. It still needs a little work, but it's close. Closer than a lot of them.
I got my dinosaur deck, and it's a lot of dinosaurs. There's a lot of new dinosaurs out there, so I need to get busy on making. I haven't done Lost Caverns of Exelon and opened up a lot of packs of that and got the new dinosaurs, but it's a fun deck, and it's all green, so it has some synergy to it.
Yeah, he does pretty good with that. This is another one of my gimmick decks. I pulled a lot of cards. I've got a lot of cards I want to add to it, but it's Death by Monkeys. It's got all the monkeys I could find. So it's a green and red deck. But I found recently quite a few more monkeys that we can stick in here.
Yeah.
So
That's Silverback.
this is about to get some work. I'm excited about that one.
I have my blue wizard deck, and it's full of counter spells and a lot of trickery, and
Yeah, it's a counterspell deck. I hate blue.
it has her thief, still creatures, thief deck. It's tough to beat, but she did it the other night. She killed it.
Yeah.
But it just depends on how it plays out. Any deck can be beat.
Yep.
But it's a fun deck, and I love playing my blue deck.
Yeah. So did you show your zombie deck?
No, but I'll show it next.
Okay. So we both have a zombie deck. This was the coolest thing. My brother decided around Halloween we usually have a party up at his house because it's around my birthday too, and that's all I ask for. But he says that we all were going to make zombie decks.
Yep.
And it's neat because we all think differently. Some of us like spells, some of us like creatures. I prefer spells, so I have a lot of spells in mind, but we had to make it all zombie creatures. And that has been a lot of fun to play against other zombie decks.
I have quite a few zombies in mind, but mine's more like direct damage and set up with Opnixilis and Underworld Dreams. And Grey Merchant is the greatest card of all time. Greatest card of all time.
No, when he first played that, I swear I heard that in my dreams. He would say, Grey Merchant, when Grey Merchant of Asphodel comes onto the battlefield. I heard that echo through my dreams all that night.
Well, there's a lot of Undead War Chief's a great zombie, and you put in Liliana, Sanguine Bond.
Oh, God. But it's like I said, everybody built their zombie decks completely different. So
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun, even though we built the same thing.
But once Swamp Walk got out, that game went fast.
Yeah. That is absolutely true.
I got a red wizard deck, and that one has a lot of. The wizards work good with each other, and there's a lot of direct damage, like lightning bolts and stuff like that in that deck also. And
I've not seen a lot of people play wizards. He plays wizards and he plays shrines. I think that's really kind of unique. Maybe it's just in our play groups. We play with mostly family, but we've never built a wizard deck. And he's got a blue one and a red one.
yeah. Let's see. This is my commander deck, and Torwaki's my commander. I love how that deck comes together.
Yeah, we've got this in a collection.
No, I put that one together.
The box.
Oh, the box.
The box came in a collection we bought. Yeah. I didn't pull out my commander deck.
But I go up to a friend of mine. He's another guy that was in the army, so we kind of clicked. And we've played several times together. And I'm about 50-50 on that one. It needs work, but it's fun. You get a lot of instants and get Torwaki going, and it does a lot of damage.
Yeah, my commander deck is a token deck. My main deck I like to play, well, until Christmas, is my token deck. And then I have a lot of different cards that create tokens, so I color-coded all my tokens by different color sleeves, so I know I can pull out whatever token I'm creating. That's been pretty handy.
There's times where she will get 300 or 400 tokens out at one time.
Yeah,
It's just crazy with the parallel lives and anointed possessions and Where's the
Ellis
general at? That
Norn.
general is just a killer. And Ellis
Shatterfang.
Norn is that's a
Yeah. I do have this card in. It's probably not a tournament, any kind of legal card, but in our house,
you
I
play
was
anything.
allowed to, so I play it. The bad thing about this, it affects the double. That's not just on me, so I got to be real careful where I play that because it could double his double strike. And,
Yeah.
But, like I said, we let anybody play their cards that they have.
You get Ellis Norn
As long
out,
as they're
and it's
magic
game
cards.
over. There's a lot of her 7 drops that just kill you.
Yeah,
If she gets to
I love
7,
that one. Tap any creatures to make 4/4. By the time I have 7, I've got a lot of creatures on the board.
yeah.
And they're 4/4 angels. And that gives them 3/3. So, yeah, that was my favorite deck.
Yeah, this is my elf deck. This is the one I put the most time and work into, and I love the box that comes in. And put your dice in there, your tokens, and then your deck. And I loaded it up with some good lands that work good. I got a lot of card draw in there, so Reliquary Tower is great, and Besiege You is a great card for a land. And then I loaded up with a lot of great elves. There's so much mana that you can make off of elves. George Warcaller can make them all huge.
I have, honestly, there's so many triggers on this that I have walked away from the table to do a load of laundry and come back and he's still explaining his triggers. Just get it over with.
And then
Am I dead or not?
Heroic Intervention's great. Overwhelming Stampede, a Shadow Spear, and then if I can get that out, that's crazy. It's a killer deck. I have a lot of fun with it.
I hate this deck when I'm playing against it, but when we go to my brother's, we play Two-Headed Giant. And so he will play that, and then I have a defense deck that is all prevent damage, prevent damage, prevent damage.
Kill enchantments, kill artifacts. And
so I got his back when we play that. We're
that
pretty
riot
unstoppable.
control, prevent all damage and get 1 point for each creature that attacked.
Yeah.
Gain life, gain life.
We have pretty much been unstoppable when I play my defense deck and he plays his elf deck in Two-Headed Giant.
Yeah, they brings his shredded deck. And
when they both play the black decks. and they both have 4 Underworld Dreams on the table.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a nightmare.
Draw 2 cards at a time.
Yeah. So I have one more deck. This has become my favorite deck, and I've been working on it. It's actually getting pretty good. So I'm really into wolves. That's my thing. And my son, for Christmas, went through all of our spare cards, and one night while we were sleeping, and he built me a wolf deck for Christmas. It was the greatest gift, and it works really well together. I tweaked it a little bit, but it is a lot of fun. But it's all wolves.
I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning and all the lights were off, and he's sitting there on the floor going through cards, building this deck.
Yeah, said he took 5 hours building this deck, and I come out at 6 o'clock, and he says, "You can't come out here." I'm like, "Well, why?" He's like, "Just go back to bed." So I did, and this was my Christmas present.
It gets out fast, and
yeah, there's a lot of. I love this card. This has become my favorite card. I love what that does.
Yeah.
Gets a 1/1 every attacking.
Whether it attacks or not, it gets +1.
And then I put this one on it. And then if it dies, I get its power. So that has saved my butt more than once already. It needs a little bit of work, but
that's every
it's
deck.
pretty close.
Yeah.
I have taken out 3 cards and added 3 new cards. I think it's going to be a good deck. And then, like I said, I do have a commander deck. I didn't pull it out. I don't know why. And it is tokens. It's got the same things as my regular token deck.
But you're going to
just
put
one of each. I know this. That's why I hate commander. Well, when I started out, there was a lot of different rules. A lot of people don't know. You could have 4 of each. They were called play sets. Menaburn. Nobody knows about Menaburn anymore, and I love that. I had a card deck built all around that, where if you didn't use your mana that turn, you took that much life. Well, they don't do that anymore. I really miss that. Anyhow, that's our decks. So if you enjoyed our video, like and subscribe.
And find us on Facebook at Show Me Yours. I'll show you my Magic the Gathering collection.
You can also find us on our new website. We have put together a website. It's CarterCollectionObsession.com.
I'm so proud of Michelle. She has put a lot of work into that, and looks great.
And I'm not a website person, so I did my best.